And now, you are watching WCTV News live at 5.
Welcome to WCTV's Newscast live at 5. I'm Joe Shirillo.
And I'm Seth Adams.
Waynesburg University's Benham Dining Hall underwent significant renovations over the summer. WCTV's Anthony DeFilippo talked to those involved with the changes and has the story.
It's also fresher, hotter, more delicious, and I mean, at the end of the day, that equals satisfaction.
Last week, Waynesburg welcomed students back with a number of changes to one of the staple spots on campus. The middle of the Benham Dining Hall received a complete facelift, opening up the area and adding several new equipment pieces. Right at the front of it all are two new stovetop or plancha grills. The purpose is to infuse fresh, authentic flavor into each dish.
We're actually cooking, so it's raw ingredients, local ingredients. So it's really hitting this station right here. It's hitting on all the senses,
Now operating under the parent company Elior, formerly known as Aladdin, everyone involved throughout the process valued student feedback.
Really what we have here is a design that is really a student-based design. It's something that all of you helped us develop and conceive.
Perhaps the biggest change creating the largest buzz among the Yellow Jackets is the made-to-order pizzas. Ready in just 2.5 minutes, and you can load it up with whatever you want.
We know that college kids are used to that made-to-order freshness, be able to pick up their own fresh topping. Can you do a Hawaiian pizza? Absolutely. You want some pineapple? Here you go, right?
Personally, I love it. I mean, I think it's really cool how you could see them making food in front of you and stuff, and I think the options are more spread open than last year.
The employees are seeing a clear uptick in turnout, with a reported 400 students showing up for lunch on the first day of classes.
The students love seeing us make the food in front of them. The aroma, the smells, the fresh pizza that comes right out. I mean, it's great.
For students with dietary restrictions, safety and variety were key goals. Now equipped with its own oven, refrigerator, and a more expansive menu, students with allergies are more than taken care of.
That is so critical to have that designated area, but at the same time to give it the same variety and the same opportunity for variation of the menu and the same quality of taste of the food.
President Lee already has his sights set on his next big project, a 3-story dorm building that will replace what is now Ray Hall. But for now, students can enjoy an experience inside the new and improved Benham Dining Hall. For WCTV Channel 14, I'm Anthony DeFilippo.
A string of fires has affected multiple buildings in Waynesburg, most recently at the St. Anne's Church over Labor Day weekend. Brandon Bennett has a closer look.
Buddy's Motel, St. Anne Matthias Catholic Church, and 3 homes all suffered from a fire over Labor Day weekend. All 3 seem to have something in common, which is being started by someone. The suspect, now in custody, is 37-year-old Jesse Williams Patterson Jr. Jesse is being faced with arson and burglary. He was also listed as homeless at his arraignment. What could have been a tough case to figure out didn't take very long because of surveillance footage of him inside the Catholic Church, along with footage of neighbors at a home of him running away after starting the fire at a trailer on 260 West High Street. For Buddy's Motel, it was around 6 a.m. Sunday morning, as the owner believes it was started due to a burned blanket inside of one of the bathtubs. Multiple rooms suffered smoke and water damage from the fire. And for many people, the most devastating of the fires being the Catholic Church.
Considering safety, and the security of the parishioners and the people, we need to address this going further down the road, because obviously a safety breach has been committed.
Wondering how bad it was, I heard it was in the bell room, which is where CCD meets. I'm thinking, is it destroyed? Did it destroy our kitchen? Because we just bought new freezers. I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Father Tom explained the restoration crew has been moving at a steady but efficient pace in this process, getting more and more work done each and every day. According to him, it could take approximately 3 weeks for the church to open up. Although the church may be opening up soon, the preschool is a different story. as that is estimated to take up to 6 months before that is up and running again. For now, I'm Brandon Bennett, WCTV.
Waynesburg University's service fair was held last week. WCTV's Seth Adams has the story.
Waynesburg University hosted their annual Service Learning Fair in the old gymnasium this week. It gave the students an opportunity to get to know who they may work with to complete their service with this semester.
As you can see here, we have so many different tents here inside the old gymnasium where students are able to find a place that suits them, a way that they can provide their service right here in Waynesburg University.
Waynesburg University, whose mission is faith, learning, and service, strives to provide students with the opportunity to help their community. That is exactly what this fair allows students to do, find a place that fits them best.
I mean, I think service is just deeper than going and lending a hand. Students are they're able to use their academics, their career goals.
With so many options to choose from, it makes picking your service that much easier for the students. No matter your major, you can find a spot in Waynesburg that you enjoy and feel good about working in. Every table welcomed the students with goodies, giveaways, and even games to play to make the experience even better for the students. Places like Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Trolley Museum, local churches, the library, and more all showed up in efforts to recruit eager college students.
Oh, very helpful. It really gives me opportunities to see what kind of service I want to do around Waynesburg, and it's just nice to see what programs are all offering service.
Service, a first step into achieving Waynesburg's mission. With help from photojournalist Ethan Spazarski, I'm Seth Adams with WCTV.
University Counselor Tim Thunberg was a guest speaker at Waynesburg University's chapel service this past Tuesday. Our Gina Reeves was in attendance.
Each week, the Waynesburg University community comes together inside Roberts Chapel for a time of worship and reflection. At Waynesburg, chapel remains a central part of campus life, a weekly reminder of the school's Christian mission. Students heard from Tim Thunberg, the university counselor. In his message, Thunberg drew from Galatians 1:13-24 to talk about the good life.
And so I spoke last semester and got an opportunity to do it again this semester. Today I'm going to talk about trying to focus on our present life and how important it is to focus on our present and God's purpose for our present and what He has for us right now, and not focus on our past and not focus too far on the future either.
Although Thunberg has only been at Waynesburg for about a year, he's already become a familiar presence, offering both guidance in the chapel and support behind it.
Back in 2003, and when I was a student here, I was going through some hard things in my life and some difficulty. I had some family situations going on and was dealing with some things from my upbringing, and really had a lot of insecurity and difficulties. And when I started taking my faith more seriously and really got into my relationship with God, it allowed me to get past those insecurities and do some really important things I needed to do. And it gave me the confidence to do that, and I've maintained that confidence ever since.
Becky Giuliano, the coordinator for campus ministry, is very welcoming for all to speak, including our staff.
We love having our staff and faculty involved in chapel. He has some great gifts as a university counselor and as a former pastor. And so it is good to have others up there speaking and just proclaiming Jesus in a variety of voices that are faithful to Scripture.
Chapel services like this one continue each week here at Waynesburg, offering students a chance to pause and reflect. For WCTV News, I'm Gina Reeves.
Last year, Jalisco Grill opened up in Waynesburg, providing students and residents another Mexican-style restaurant to dine in. Logan Arblaster gives us a closer look at the Mexican eatery.
Right off East High Street in Waynesburg, Jalisco Grill has been open for just over a year. In August 2024, the new restaurant aimed to bring an original Mexican experience.
So we also trying to bring like the authentic street taco, like with like grilled steak or grilled chicken with cilantro and onions, lime, and been doing pretty good. People like it.
Customizable options and homemade recipes differentiates Jalisco Grill from other dining alternatives.
We got like this thing to make your own burrito. You basically get whatever you want on it. And some quesadillas, but we want to bring like, we make it already, but we don't have it on the menu, like fajitas, chimichangas, all that kind of stuff.
The restaurant is fit into the local eatery scene with some customer favorite dishes. Out of all the entrees available, there's one that stands out above the rest.
The number one thing is like street tacos and chimiflautas.
A local business worker in a shared space with Jalisco Grill emphatically doubled down on what keeps bringing customers back.
It's like chimiflautas.
Here at Jalisco Grill, customers love their burritos. For me, I'm a simple guy. All I need is some tortilla chips and salsa. Another key convenience for customers is enjoying a meal without worrying about additional fees.
Well, we was trying, that's why we got like DoorDash in, and then we also doing like free delivery.
Believe it or not, Jalisco Grill isn't just known for their Mexican selections.
Yeah, they have an American menu, and it's also good. It's under the children's section, so people don't look, but it's one of the best burgers I've ever had came from there, and it's really good and much better than you get at fast food.
Of course, owner Alejandro Solis had to weigh in about his favorite food at Jalisco.
Oh man, that's hard. Like maybe street tacos and chimiflautas.
After over a year in business, Jalisco Grill is still looking for ways to expand. One of their biggest ideas is bringing a food truck on the campus of Waynesburg University. For WCTV Channel 14, I'm Logan Arblaster.
Homecoming court applications are now available for students on their MyConnect pages. Sign-ups are due by the end of the day tomorrow, September 12th. There is also a coffee house event tonight with Soldiers and Sons in the Beehive. For a list of more events going on around campus, students can find the hyperlink on their MyConnect pages.
Coming up, we remember the lives lost on the tragic September 11th attacks 24 years ago today.
Plus, a look at the assassination of Charlie Kirk, all that and more on the Newscast.
Gotcha.
Fading up to Tyler and Mia in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Mia Hinkins.
And I'm Tyler Heron, and welcome
to Jacket Sports Weekly.
Welcome back to WCTV's Newscast. Today marks the 24th year since the deadliest terror attack on United States history. On that morning, 2 planes crashed into the World Trade Center, one just before 9 a.m. and one just after the hour. Later that morning, a plane would crash into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and another crashed into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Both the north and south towers of the World Trade Center collapsed not long after the plane crashes into each building. 2,996 people died that day, including first responders, mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters of America. Every year on this day, our nation mourns and continues to remember the brave souls lost 24 years ago.
Yesterday, a group of students in Mechanicsville, Virginia, spent part of their day honoring the victims by planting flags for each one. Photojournalist Miles Black spoke with the students about why it means so much to them to make sure the victims are remembered.
Thank you so much for coming out today. 5th year in a row, the Cats are making it happen once again. Planting 2,977 flags in honor of each of our fellow Americans that died 24 years ago in the attacks on the Twin Towers.
I think it's a really great way that we kind of reach out to the people, and I think it's a great way that we can show our patriotism to our community.
Good.
and planting each individual flag, making sure we have the right number, shows that we really do care about every life that was lost on that day.
We're just trying to help the cadets remember this attack. And although those fallen are not with us today, we know there's many family, friends, and relatives that will see this, right? And they'll know that their loved ones are not forgotten.
A short time after 9/11 happened, our country came together as one big family. It was like, we don't care what you're from, what our differences are. Our country needs to come together and fight for a common goal. So that's kind of, I feel a sense of unity throughout all of this.
We have these things called learning intentions. What are you learning? Well, it's not about what we're learning, it's about what we're doing. So the cadets are out here living out their cadet creed today, and that does my heart a lot of good.
Major developments in the ongoing manhunt for the person suspected of killing conservative podcaster and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. The 31-year-old Trump ally was gunned down at a speaking engagement at Utah Valley University Wednesday. Maribel Gonzalez is in Orem, Utah with the latest.
Kirk's killer remains at large, but now we have a significant update in the investigation. The FBI has just now released images of a person of interest. Now, a few hours ago, we heard from them and they said they had clear and good video of the suspect. They said they would be reviewing those images using their technology, but if they were not able to do so, that is when they would release images to the public. As I mentioned, we just received those images. Now this is a male that appears to look like he is college age. And now they're turning to the public for their help to aid in this investigation.
We find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights.
Investigators announcing significant progress in the search for the shooter suspected of killing 31-year-old conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
We were able to track the movements of the shooter. We do have good video footage of this individual.
The FBI says they believe they've uncovered the weapon used in the attack, but declined to publicly identify the suspect.
We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it.
President Trump eulogizing Kirk during Thursday morning's 9/11 remembrance ceremony at the Pentagon.
Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people.
Announcing Kirk will be posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on.
In remarks Wednesday night, Trump blamed the, quote, radical left for Kirk's assassination. But his murder is just the latest in a string of politically motivated attacks that have targeted people across the political spectrum. Leaders on both sides of the aisle decrying the tragedy and calling for temperatures to be lowered.
We need to come together. We need to turn down the rhetoric. We need to stop this political violence.
Now, as far as the motive, that is still unclear, but sources say there was a range of phrases referring to cultural phrases that were scribbled onto a rifle that was found in a wooded area, as well as ammunition related to this shooting. Investigators will try to decipher what those messages meant to try to shine some light on what could have driven this suspect to shoot and kill Kirk. Meanwhile, the FBI is asking people to submit any photos or videos they may have that can help lead them to the suspect. Reporting in Orem, Utah, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
The killing of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University marks the 46th shooting at a U.S. school this year. The country already has a 47th. Amy Kiley reports on the violence at a Colorado high school that took place less than an hour after Kirk was shot.
I was scared and I felt like sick because I was worried.
2 students are wounded and the juvenile suspect is dead after a shooting at a Denver area high school yesterday. The sheriff's office says the gunman opened fire with a revolver. This video shows terrified students fleeing the scene and ringing a doorbell at a nearby home. Others describe being inside Evergreen High School when the shooting began.
There was a message over the intercom and they basically just said that like they were going into lockdown.
Police say first responders reached the scene within 2 minutes and were in contact with the suspect about 3 minutes later. In total, officials say more than 100 members of law enforcement swarmed the school.
So grateful for the really brave staff here in Jefferson County and at Evergreen, and so grateful for first responders.
Colorado Representative Jeff Hurd says he's heartbroken as a father of 5. Governor Jared Polis is reminding students about free mental health resources. Colorado Senator John Hickenlooper says Congress should find a bipartisan solution to stop school shootings.
If there were a terrorist trying to hurt our country, what more harmful thing could they do but to make our children scared to learn, scared to go to school, right? We're terrorizing ourselves.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
That will do it all for national news. Coming up next is Mia Hankins with business and entertainment. But first, we step outside with Breck Gambita for a quick look at the weather.
Sunny skies and mid to high 70s have been the theme here so far this semester at Waynesburg University. Stay tuned later on in the newscast for a full-blown weather update.
Welcome back to the Newscast. I'm Mia Hankins with your business and entertainment update. Recession chatter is ramping back up again. Recent labor market data backs up what many job hunters said anecdotally. The jobs market has been slowing down, and that's raising concerns about the overall economy. Karen Kafa is in Washington with what households need to know.
On Tuesday, revised numbers from the Labor Department suggested that the U.S. economy created far fewer jobs between March 2024 and March 2025 than previously thought. That came after an August jobs report from the federal government that showed job growth close to stalling out. And of course, when you have concerns about the labor market, there are concerns about the overall economy.
Recent data around the U.S. labor market has been disappointing for job seekers.
Many of the sectors across the economy have been very stagnant at best, and we've been in this low hire, low fire environment for quite a while.
And a sluggish jobs market typically doesn't bode well for the overall economy.
Usually when labor markets slow down, that's a pretty good indicator that the general economy is slowing down.
On Tuesday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics issued revised U.S. jobs numbers for the period between March 2024 and March 2025 and suggested U.S. companies created about 911,000 fewer jobs than initially reported. This after Friday's government report showed U.S. employers added just 22,000 jobs in August, a sharp drop-off from July, even as the unemployment rate stayed relatively low at 4.3%.
We're not adding a lot of jobs, and actually we're losing jobs in some sectors. The probability of becoming unemployed really hasn't gone up a whole lot. Layoffs are still relatively low. However, if you become unemployed, it is taking people longer to find jobs.
Laura Ulrich, director of economic research for job search site Indeed, says frustrated job hunters right now should consider how their skills translate to fields that are seeing growth, like healthcare and social assistance.
Thinking about how your skills that you have are adaptable to other jobs or maybe even other sectors is really important.
And Ulrich says to consider AI tools like Indeed's new tool, Career Scout, to help better align skills with the search for open positions.
And looking at the broader economic picture, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell had already expressed some concerns about the labor market even before this latest round of data, making it more likely the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates at their meeting next week, which typically spurs businesses to borrow, spend, and hire. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
The new Wizard of Oz show at Sphere Las Vegas is drawing crowds and profits too. As James King reports, tourists are flocking to the immersive experience, which combines nostalgia with cutting-edge entertainment.
My wife and I are here from the state of Washington.
I'm visiting from Minnesota.
The Sphere drawing crowds from near and far thanks to their new Wizard of Oz show. Bloomberg reporting that show alone drawing nearly $2 million a day for just 2 showings.
Coming to see the Sphere was a must.
and I have to tell you, it was great.
We saw the show was happening, and my dad sent me information about it and was like, do you want to go to this? And I'm like, say less.
Actually, we came for the show, but we like Vegas. We come down about 2 or 3 times a year just to visit for a while.
Despite tourism numbers being down, the Sphere is thriving. A new age of entertainment, no longer bound to just the screen, now immersive and interactive. The type of traction needed to help tourism in Vegas continue to evolve.
Oh, it was great. I mean, the atmosphere, the wind blowing, the apples falling, the monkeys. It was really an amazing experience. I'm glad we came.
My dad used to love it. He would play the movie for us, and seeing Dorothy and remembering the songs and all that coming back, you know, the nostalgia was great.
And it's perfect timing with the new LVCVA brand campaign pushing a fabulous experience at a value.
And I do think this campaign is reinforcing that. I absolutely do. But you do have more options now. Shows, of course, who can compare to Vegas with shows? But we do have so many more things here. And I think that they're trying to stimulate, renewed interest in coming here.
And the people at the show telling us they would have broken the bank just to get inside.
I am kind of cheap, but I would have paid the price.
If you're a Wizard of Oz fan, even if you're a Wicked fan, this is the show for you. And I think if you're willing to pay to see something amazing, I haven't heard a bad thing about it.
When it comes to putting money away for retirement, experts recommend start saving as soon as possible. Northwestern Mutual studied a variety of factors and found the average amount Americans believe they'll need to retire comfortably is $1.26 million. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at the types of retirement accounts and how much you should be putting away each year.
The cost of living continues to rise, and that means you'll need more money for retirement. But when should you start saving, and just how much do you need?
There's really no such thing as too early.
Samuel Taub is an investing writer for NerdWallet. Earlier this year, they conducted a survey and found 39% of Americans said not having enough saved for retirement was a financial concern. The most common types of retirement accounts are an IRA, which is controlled by you, or a 401k, which is sponsored by your employer, and many companies will match what you put in.
IRAs typically don't cost anything to open. Even contributing a small amount if you're fresh out of college and waiting tables can still make a big difference down the line.
Here's how much Fidelity Investments suggests you have in savings. By 30, you should have 1 times your salary, and it goes up by age. By 67, you should have 10 times your salary in a retirement account. But a lot depends on where you live and your lifestyle.
If you're living in a high cost of living or even medium cost of living area, that number may be north of $1 million.
Go Banking Rates recently broke down how much you need to retire wealthy. In popular retirement communities like Prescott, Arizona, you need just over $1.8 million to retire for 20 years. In Naples, Florida, you need just under that. Other ways to grow your retirement savings is investing in the market or even cryptocurrencies.
Once you get older and closer to retirement, the general consensus is that you're supposed to shift your portfolio into safer assets like a heavier bond allocation in order to preserve your money against the possibility of a downturn.
A financial advisor can help you reach your retirement goals. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
A classic Steven Spielberg movie has its own exhibit. The new Jaws, the exhibition, looks like it offers a shark-sized bite of everything Jaws related. The exhibit opened Wednesday at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in Los Angeles. It features more than 200 artifacts from the film, some that have never been displayed to the public. The film is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Jaws was released over the summer to honor the milestone, making $8.1 million last weekend at the box office. 2 Oscar-winning stars reunite in a new thriller, and the stars of Downton Abbey say goodbye. Here's Rick Damigella with the Hollywood Minute.
AWTGG. What does it mean?
Are we the good guys?
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck reunite. The Oscar-winning duo play a pair of Miami cops who stumble upon a massive amount of cash during a raid in The Rip. This is your first look at the crime thriller, which arrives on Netflix in January.
Families like ours must keep moving to survive.
The cast of Downton Abbey bid farewell. The new film Downton Abbey, the grand finale, marks the end of the beloved franchise, which first premiered in 2010. For star Michelle Dockery, it marks the end of an era.
It's been a huge part of my life. I've met my greatest friends over the last 15 years, and I've really enjoyed playing Mary.
Downton Abbey, the grand finale, lands in theaters on Friday.
What else is there that I don't know about?
We got to have each other's backs. Family first.
Patricia Arquette's dramatic new turn. The actress plays a mother trying to hide the crimes of her wealthy brood in Murdoch, Death in the Family. Jason Clarke also stars in the Hulu miniseries, which is based on a true story and premieres October 15th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
That will do it for your business and entertainment update. I'm Mia Hinkins. When we return on the newscast, Dean Shazer has your sports.
University men's soccer team won its second game in a row on Saturday with a 1-0 win over Pitt Greensburg. The men travel to Baldwin-Wallace this Saturday, scheduled for a 7 p.m. start. Staying on track with soccer, heading over to women's and Pitt Greensburg, the Waynesburg women's soccer team was defeated 1-0 yesterday at Pitt Greensburg. That was the women's first loss of the season. They'll be on the road again this Friday as they also take on Baldwin-Wallace. Switching sports now on to Waynesburg football. Waynesburg opened its season last week for a home opener against number 25 ranked in Division III John Carroll. John Carroll took care of the Yellow Jackets with a 48-14 win. Waynesburg is still trying to figure out its starting quarterback situation as they travel to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and they face Dickinson at 1 p.m. on Saturday. For some local high school sports action, we'll move into Friday Night Lights news. Around Greene County, Carmichaels takes on Best Center on the road. Wash High comes to town to take on Waynesburg Central, and Mapletown will be on the road against West Greene for the final match of the night. First two games will begin at 6:30, while West Greene match is scheduled to start at 7:15. Paul Skeens pitched yesterday and threw 5 innings of 2-hit ball with 8 strikeouts, but was pulled after 64 pitches. Pirates went on to lose 3-2 in 11 innings to the Orioles. Shocker. Today, the Bucks were swept by the O's in Game 3 of 3 in the series. Dylan Beavers gave the O's the lead with an RBI single to score Jackson Holiday in the 7th as they once again defeated the Pirates, 3-2 this time. Again, the Pittsburgh Steelers won their game on Sunday with a 34-32 thriller against the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers' first game as a Steeler. Chris Boswell gave the Steelers the lead with a 60-yard field goal in the final minute. Chris Boswell in the final minute, of course, the longest field goal of his career. Green Bay Packers host the Washington Commanders tonight at Lambeau Field on Prime Video at 8:15. Jordan Love versus JD5. Should be a fun one. That's all for sports. I'm Dean Shazer, and when we come back, Brett Gambito will have your weather.
Welcome back into the newscast. I'm Brett Gambito with your weather. Right now in Waynesburg, it's about 77. Temperatures this morning were in the low 50s, rising into the mid to high 70s in the afternoon. You can expect more of that the rest of the week with tomorrow's high of 79 and low of 51. Pretty good for high school football, but dress warm. The projected temperature at 7 p.m. kickoff is 73, but it drops all the way to 61 by 10 p.m. Saturday brings a high of 80 and a low of 53. Sunday brings a high of 80 with a low of 57. Mostly sunny skies all throughout the week, and not to jinx it, but I don't think there's any rain here in the next couple days in the forecast. So that's all for me. We're going to send it back up to the desk.
That will do it for the newscast live at 5 for everyone behind the scenes and in front of the camera. Thank you for watching.
And as we sign off, we once again remember the victims of the September 11th attacks 24 years ago. Even today, we mourn their deaths and pray for their families and loved ones.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.